When you bring up the name Neil Peart, you're talking about drumming royalty. The late drummer of Rush wasn't just a musician, he was a phenomenon. Known as the Professor, Neil redefined what rock drumming could be. His blend of precision, creativity, and power made him a legend, and for decades, no one even dared to compare. But recently, a wave of younger drummers and fans online have started whispering, some even shouting, that Anika Nilles might just be on that same level, or even beyond it. Now, before we go any further, let's get one thing straight. Comparing anyone to Neil Peart isn't about disrespect. It's about evolution. Music moves forward. Just as Peart inspired generations to take drumming seriously, drummers like Anika Nilles are expanding the language of rhythm in ways even Peart might have admired. Anika Nilles, a German drummer who rose to global fame through YouTube, isn't just known for her speed or technical accuracy, she's known for her feel. Her grooves swing between pop, fusion, and progressive styles with a finesse that makes her sound both futuristic and soulful. It's that blend, machine-like precision with human groove, that has fans calling her the next big thing in drumming. The debate really picked up online after Nilles began collaborating with Rush-related tribute performances and educational projects. Her ability to interpret Peart's parts with her own flair blew people away. Some fans claimed she didn't just play like Peart, she brought a new energy that made the old Rush tracks feel alive again. That's when the conversation shifted. Could Anika Nilles actually be better than Neil Peart? Of course, better depends on what you mean. Peart was a storyteller on drums, a composer, who built landscapes with toms and cymbals. His fills told stories. His solos were like symphonies. Every note had purpose. On the other hand, Nilles is a modern visionary. She's pushing rhythm beyond what rock ever imagined. She plays in odd time signatures as if they were natural conversation. Her compositions aren't just drum solos. They're songs built around rhythm itself. Still, even Nilles herself has expressed deep admiration for Neil Peart. In interviews, she's called him one of her earliest inspirations. You can't overstate what Neil did for drumming. He made the drums speak. That's respect, from one master to another. So when fans say Anika Nilles might be better than Neil Peart, they're not trying to erase Peart's greatness. They're recognizing that music evolves, and sometimes evolution produces players who expand the craft. Peart was a pioneer of the 20th century rock era. Nilles is a pioneer of the 21st century rhythmic movement. Both are professors in their own right, just teaching in different classrooms. But what exactly makes fans feel Anika Nilles deserves comparison to the legend himself? It's more than just technical skill. It's her innovation, her courage to merge math rock grooves with emotional phrasing, her ability to turn polyrhythms into something musical rather than mechanical. And in an age where drummers rely heavily on digital editing and quantization, Anika's live performances show something rare, real mastery. When she plays, it's not about flash. It's about control, feel, and emotion, all wrapped in jaw-dropping precision. Yet even with her growing fame, the comparison still divides the drumming community. For some die-hard Rush fans, comparing anyone to Neil Peart feels almost sacrilegious. To them, Peart wasn't just a drummer, he was a philosopher behind the kit. His lyrics shaped minds, his solos inspired decades of musicians, and his influence extended far beyond rhythm. He turned drumming into literature, poetic, intelligent, and full of emotion. So when people bring up Anika Nilles in the same sentence, emotions run high. But here's the truth. It's not about replacing Neil Peart. It's about celebrating how his influence gave birth to artists like Anika Nilles. You can see it in her phrasing, her attention to detail, and the respect she shows towards every note. In that sense, Anika isn't competing with Peart. She's continuing his legacy. Still, fans can't help but notice what makes her unique. While Peart dominated rock's complex rhythms with raw power, Nilles brings a futuristic groove that feels almost alien. Her use of syncopation and ghost notes create rhythms that sound impossible, yet flow effortlessly. She fuses funk, jazz, and electronic music in ways that push drumming into new territory. Some fans argue that if Peart were alive today, he'd probably admire her work. After all, Neil was always hungry to learn, from Buddy Rich to African polyrhythms. He was a student forever. It's easy to imagine him watching one of Nilles' YouTube performances, smiling at the evolution of something he helped start. Anika Nilles doesn't play like she's trying to outshine anyone. She plays like she's writing the next chapter. Her compositions, such as Alter Ego and Synergy, are technical yet melodic, proving she's not just a drummer, but a composer in her own right. And that's where she and Peart truly connect. Both believe drums could tell stories. Today, younger drummers are inspired by Anika Nilles the same way their parents were inspired by Peart. They see in her the same balance of intellect and emotion that made Nilles so iconic. And that's perhaps the highest form of respect, when a new generation carries your spirit forward in their own way. In the end, comparing the two might be missing the point. Neil Peart was a legend who defined his era. Anika Nilles is defining hers. One built the foundation, the other's expanding the house. Together, they represent the timeless beauty of drumming, a craft that never stops growing, never stops challenging, and never stops inspiring. So when fans say Anika Nilles might be better than Neil Peart, maybe what they're really saying is this: she's the kind of artist Neil would have wanted to see rise. Because legends don't fade. They evolve through those who follow. And in that sense, both Peart and Nilles are eternal. One taught the world how to listen to drums, the other is teaching us how to feel them all over again. That's not competition, that's legacy.